Are you thinking about moving to Myrtle Beach? We are going to go over everything of concern from you, from housing to what living looks like, all right? What type of person moves to Myrtle Beach? Angelo, is Myrtle Beach dirty?
They used to have a little nickname for Myrtle Beach. They call it Dirty Myrtle, but it has since cleaned up its act. Myrtle Beach is a very nice place to go to now. Families, huge tourist spot, and it's one of the main attractions for Northerners on the East Coast. So it's not as dirty as it once used to be.
Angelo, we're going to get into it right now. We want to provide a lot of value here. So T, make sure you stay until the end. And we're going to give you a property example, and we're going to do a loan example and what that might look like for you. And throughout this video, we're going to give you plenty of examples. If you're moving from a big city and looking at Myrtle, we're going to show you the savings breakdown of that. So make sure you stay all the way until the end. If you get something valuable here, make sure you like the video. Affordability, Angelo, how affordable is Myrtle Beach?
Well, let's take a look at that, man. I'm glad you asked, too, because in comparison to a national level and the state level, Myrtle Beach is extremely affordable. So as you can see here, the median household income in Myrtle Beach is right around $51,000. South Carolina's median income as a state is right at $64,000, right? Just a few dollars shy of that. The national, on the U.S., national median household income, you're at $74,000 in change. So when you look at that on a grand scale, Myrtle Beach is about $24,000 less when it comes to, median household income. So definitely more affordable than the national average.
And what about the cost of living?
Well, let's get to the cost of living. So the cost of living, the median home price is around $342,000, which is close to the South Carolina median price of $360,000. So, as a whole, as you can see here, it's definitely lower as for the state and national level.
And when looking at some of these properties, Angelo, we were looking, once you break that $300,000 region, in my opinion, that's where the gates really open up for you. Like, you have a lot of options. When you start looking like sub 250, your options get a little bit smaller. So just keep that in mind. Angelo, something I wanted to talk about is what type of person moves to Myrtle Beach?
So there's a lot of type of people that move to Myrtle Beach. You have probably first and foremost retirees, right? People that want to get out of the cold, like from the Northeast. They want to get out of the cold, go to the beach town and, have a very decent climate year round. You have families also that want to go to Myrtle Beach. Young professionals that maybe can work remote and also want to be close to the beach. That'd be a perfect for them. Second homeowners, I would think, are probably a bigger segment of there that people want to, have a second home because the homes are affordable in Myrtle Beach. And also just maybe not live there, right? So second homes are definitely something that people want to purchase in Myrtle Beach because it's affordable. Entrepreneurs and, of course, snowbirds, people that are maybe retired, snowbirds that don't want to go all the way to Florida because it's super hot, that they just kind of, they park themselves in Myrtle Beach. It's like halfway between New York and Florida. It's not super hot all year round and not cold. So that's probably the best the group of people that want to move to Myrtle.
This is very interesting because this shows like where the people are moving from to get to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, and I was very interested to find this data. So as you can see here, number one, which I thought it would have been New York, but as you can see, New York is a close second. Washington, D.C. People are getting out of the D.C. and heading to Myrtle Beach. You have New York, Boston, Charlotte, number 4. We are about 3.5 hours from Myrtle Beach, so I could see why that would be a quick destination to move to. And it's, once again, close to the beach.
Angela, let's give the people some perspective here. Let's give an example with a big city in South Carolina and compare it with Myrtle Beach here.
Yeah, no, that's a great comparison here. So as you can see, Charleston is definitely number 1 in South Carolina versus Myrtle Beach. The population, I'm just going to hit on a few points. There's a lot of points here, and you can take a look at this data, but I'm going to hit on the first couple. Population in Charleston, 151,000, whereas Myrtle Beach at 37,000. So there's a big difference there. Median home price, 500,000 versus 268,000. That is a major difference. For sure. Job market, strong and diverse. And it's, once again, Myrtle Beach is tourism driven. and the schools are decent comparative to, some highly rated schools in Charleston. So
Now, Angelo, there's cons with literally everything on this planet, and I hate to break it to everyone here. There are cons to living in Myrtle Beach. What are
no,
those?
there's not. No, there's not. There's no cons. No cons whatsoever. Of course, hurricane season. We just had one roll through by the name of Debbie. Thank God there was not a ton of devastation down there from it kind of turned into a tropical storm. But that is probably the biggest issue with just the coast, of course, is hurricanes. Then, of course, traffic is, you wouldn't think traffic is that bad down there, but in tourism season, in the height of it, traffic is insane. So, and of course, with hurricanes come flooding. So that's definitely something to be concerned about. Now, increased home prices due to remote workers and vacation home buyers. So definitely a little competition there when it comes to that. And other than tourism, hospitality, and healthcare, there aren't a ton of job opportunities down there. But of course, if you got a remote work, then who cares about that?
I think that happens a lot, Angelo. It's like if you have remote work, you get a pass. You get to do whatever you want.
Just go wherever. It doesn't matter.
All right, Angelo, let's do some high-level breakdown here. Let's give a savings breakdown, and let's compare Washington, D.C., which is what we saw before, which was a city that people were moving from to move to Myrtle Beach, and let's compare that with Myrtle Beach. What does that savings look like? Because that is the most concern for people here in seeing how far can their purchasing power go.
Yeah, for sure. And I can see why people are moving from DC to Myrtle Beach, because annual savings is $36,000 in change, right? So if you look at high level stuff, as you said, median home price $620,000 versus Myrtle Beach at $267,000. We're going to do a down payment of 3%. Loan amount for Washington, D.C., $601,400. Myrtle Beach, $259,766. 30-year fixed at 6.5 rate. You're at $4,054. Okay, versus just shy of $2,000, right? $1,919, right? So that is a huge savings of $2,100 monthly. Annual savings of $25,620. So the list goes on. So we have taxes, the federal and state tax, as you can see here, $1,200 versus $800, $300 versus $150. Monthly savings about $5,500. Annual $6,600. That's a big deal. Now, transportation, you definitely don't have to pay a lot to get around in Myrtle Beach, probably like you do DC. Hustle and bustle of DC there. As you can see, annual savings of $1,200. Groceries and dining. Well, this is just a no-brainer right here, right? You're in DC. You're paying quite a bit for a nice little dinner in DC. Annual savings $2,400. Okay, utilities $50 a month. Annual savings around $600. So all in all, as you can see here, $36,420 in annual savings by just moving. So once again, remote workers, you want to get some cheap housing next to the beach versus DC. Myrtle Beach it is, man. Let's go.
All right, Angelo, let's give an example here so that they can actualize the information that they have been given. Break down this property and what this looks like in Myrtle.
776 Wigston Court in Myrtle Beach, $410,000. It is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,100 square foot home. It's got a little bit of HOA dues on it, $102 a month, which isn't too bad. As you can see here, it's a stunning 3-bed, 2-bath with bonus room, highly sought after area in Myrtle Beach. I mean, this is kind of a stunner, right? Mm-hmm. That house in Charlotte would probably be $800,000. So you're getting that kind of house in Myrtle Beach for $410,000. That's on a discount if you're in comparison to Charlotte and or DC. That house is probably $900,000 in DC, maybe even $1 million. So let's talk about what that house looks like when it comes to a loan payment. Got a first-time home buyer, $410,000. The down payment, $12,300 at 3%, which is 3%. A conventional loan, fixed 6.5% interest rate. Let's say they got a 780 FICO. They're paying their bills on time. Good borrower this is, and we are looking at $3,285.73 all in with a mortgage payment. So not bad. And this home right here is courtesy Seth, June, and Associates Real Estate Team. This is one of their listings, so hopefully we can get this help to get this sold for them.
Angela, let's discuss investing in Myrtle Beach for those investors out there. We discussed about people moving to Myrtle Beach that are looking to pick up themselves, their families, and move at a new destination here. But give something to the investors here, all right? What does that look like?
Yeah, so go ahead and pull up those stats, if you don't mind, Gavin, that we pulled up. Myrtle Beach is a fantastic place to purchase an investment property because, as you can see here, we have over 220, I was going to say 20 million tourists that visit Myrtle Beach each year, which is a ton of people. So, of course, Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, I mean, you put those on those sites, and of course, you do have seasonal bookings. So you're going to have your hot seasons. March, spring break is a hot season. My property down there was fully booked in March. Then there's a little bit of lull in April. But then May and end of May, June, July, August, basically fully booked. So you're going to have those months where you're going to really rake in that cash to kind of make those payments for you during the slow seasons. Now, not to say that you're not going to get any guests during the slow season, because during the slow season you have Christmas, you got Easter. People want to do that. People want to go and spend those holidays outside of their home. My property was booked pretty solid for all of the holidays. So don't think that's just, seasonal, but there are going to be, little hot spots that people want to book, outside of just the that. So as you can see, the occupancy rate for rentals during the season, you're at 70 to 85%. And I'd say it's about 30% occupancy during the off season. So once again, a great place to purchase, an investment property if you're looking to do so.
If you're looking to move to Myrtle, you obviously know where to go. Pin link down below. You can reach out to Angelo. If you're looking to invest in Myrtle and need some guidance there, obviously you can talk to Angelo. Angelo's got a handful of properties there, really wise guy, and he can help you, lead you on that path to a investment property or to moving there. Because finally here, Angelo, do we feel like Myrtle is a good place to move to? I mean, we've talked about Hickory before. You're in Charlotte. You've obviously visited some high-ticket cities around the nation. What do you think of Myrtle, honestly?
I do. I like Myrtle. I'm a fan of Myrtle. I do have a property there in Myrtle, so it's definitely something that I could see myself moving to if that was something in the future of mine too. Like I said, hey, I want to move. I would definitely consider Myrtle Beach. Because I'm not lying, because I talked about Hickory and I'm like, I don't know about Hickory. So, but Myrtle Beach is definitely would be on the list for sure.
I would not move to Myrtle Beach because I live in Huntington Beach. I'm not going to downgrade beaches.
Well, come on, dude. I understand that. But how expensive it is, is it there in Huntington Beach, right? So maybe we should do a stat on that in the next video or two.
Right. Steve, thank you for joining us. If you got something valuable here, make sure you leave a like, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.